أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. By the barak of Sidi Shaykh, Sidi Mohamed Faouzi al-Karkari قدس الله سره. Notes from a lecture from March 2026, Part 1. Before starting this video, I would like to say that this work would never have seen the light without Sidi Shaykh. If something is wrong, it will be from myself, and everything that is correct is from Sidi Shaykh. In this lecture, Sidi Shaykh addressed the upbringing of children. Sidi Shaykh began by discussing children's phone usage. Drawn from his own household, he explained that when dealing with his children, the phone is neither taken from them entirely nor left with them without boundaries. There is a specific time, for example at the end of the week or an hour in the evening, to relax with the phone, but only after completing their studies, lessons, worship, and other obligations. Sidi Shaykh added that one must be cautious with them in this matter, because preventing a person from something causes them to desire it more than before. One must teach them how to abstain from it on their own accord, not by imposing prohibition. There is no prohibition, especially if the father or mother imposes their control over their children. This is not proper upbringing, tabiya. Instead, one engages in dialogue, speaks with them, and reveals the various dimensions of the device they use, both its benefits and its harms. Not as some do, showing only the harms while hiding the benefits. The child then sees their father as ignorant, because the father frightens them and presents the device as a monster. In this era, nearly all work depends on this device: commerce, meetings, transactions, translation, research, sciences. Everything is built around this device. So as long as one needs it and use it in their life, they must teach their child how to need it and use it in their life. Fear over children's phone use stems from viewing the phone negatively, a view shaped by one's own engagement with its negative aspects. If one corrects oneself and explores the phone's positive dimensions instead, one can then teach children its bright and beneficial side, meaning correct oneself, then correct others. The phone frightens and terrifies precisely because one finds their own whims within it. One must correct oneself, holding the phone while disciplining themselves in the fear of God and self-preservation. Only then can one use it beneficially. Some engage in the scientific field, some the religious, some the cultural. This virtual world is an entire mind. Once one has corrected oneself, made peace with this device, and organized their relationship with it, they can teach children proper use. At that point, leaving it with them all day poses no concern. But while they are young and cannot yet grasp these principles, one teaches them some of what Allah has taught them. For example, how to search for what they need, like translation tools and similar resources. Sidi Shaykh also emphasized that at young ages, children naturally play constantly, if not with the phone, then with something else. This is simply the age of play. There are games they play that adults cannot perform. Their intelligence level has become elevated, so parents should allow them to exercise that intelligence through gaming, developing their skills and understanding. Then transition them to serious work and studies. If they need the phone for their studies, there is no harm in that. The point is building the child's self-confidence. Sidi Shaykh stated that this is how he sees things. He mentioned that he neither commands nor forbids his children, just as he neither commands nor forbids his disciples. He has never commanded his children. He leaves them to themselves, but he remains transparent with them. There is no fear between them. Sidi Shaykh explained that if they speak inappropriately outside, they will speak the same way in front of him. He must exercise patience and hear what others would hear. Rather than rebuking them, he clarified the word's nature at their level of comprehension. If they grasp it, then it's good, mashallah. If not, he gives them another opportunity. They are still young. It is not about suppression. Suppression and forbidden only causes children to cling to the forbidden idea, wielding it as a weapon against the parent, or developing a dual face or dual personality, one face shown to the world, another reserved for the parent. Sidi Shaykh added that this is why Arabs are backward. They command, not teach. The husband commands the wife. The father commands the son. There should be no commanding. Instead, the parent should make the children love what they study. This is why the West surpassed Arabs in this regard. Not that they have morals, but they have this educational approach. They actually took it from the Arabs originally. The Messenger ﷺ instructed regarding raising children, play with them, لَعَبْهُمْ. Without playing with children in their youth, how can one transition to teaching them? The first foundation of upbringing, of tabiya, has been lost. A father's upbringing of a child must begin with the stage of play. Playing with children in their youth establishes a transparent relationship. They play the same game, and the child chooses the game, not the parent. The parent simply plays with them in their game. This means descending from one's authority, rank, intellect, and thinking to become small alongside them. Perhaps even pretending ignorance of the game, allowing the child to teach them. This is how one engages for the duration of 7 years. A sustained journey, not a single day. 7 full years. When the child reaches 7 years old, the parent starts the teaching. At that stage, the son is raised on love and affection. There become a close relationship between the child and the parent, and they interact between each other as if they are children. There is no longer commanding and prohibiting between them. It becomes all playing. Then, playing will be transformed into teaching. The child and the parent will learn through play, until learning becomes beaten, ضرب. Sidi Shaykh explained that it is not about beating the child, but rather making them afraid, preventing them from what they want. This is when they reach 10 years old. Here Sidi Shaykh is referring to the Prophet ﷺ hadith, teach your children to pray when they reach 7 and beat them or discipline them, أضربهم, for it when they reach 10. Sidi Shaykh continued his explanation, stating that this is how Allah created the structure of children's minds. The Prophet ﷺ is the most knowledgeable after God. He is the most knowledgeable of people. He is the one who has left this methodology. This methodology is not taken from the West or anywhere else. It comes from the Prophet ﷺ. Sidi Shaykh explained the words of the Prophet ﷺ, beat them or discipline them, أضربهم, at 10, clarifying that it does not imply physical punishment. For instance, one might say, so-and-so has gone on a hunger strike, أضرب عن الطعام, meaning an abstention. This is ضرب, beaten. When a child reaches 10 years of age, they should be prevented from playing, as the first 3 years after the 7 are a mix of play and learning. Initially, it was all play. There was no education or teaching, ta'lim. The child enjoyed complete freedom to play as they wished, and ought to play with their father or mother at specific times. Upon reaching 10, the focus shifts. This stage marks a withdrawal from play, distinguishing seriousness from amusement. The education during the first 3 years was blended, meaning that while engaging in games, the interaction was structured to help the child grasp concepts like mathematical equations or verbal expressions. Once the child reaches 10, education should occur without play, indicating a cessation from play. Thus, when the Prophet ﷺ says, teach them at 7 and beat or discipline them, اضربهم at 10, it emphasizes the need to withdraw them from the playful activities that were previously integrated into their education. So that was all for this video. Alhamdulillah الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق اللهم لك الحمد اللهم لك الحمد اللهم لك الحمد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.